What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Sam and Tara's mom should be a main character in Scream 6. So this is something I just randomly popped in my head, and I was thinking, well, I've seen a lot of stuff online in terms of the fan castings of the mom, okay, of these two's mom. Now, I do want to say something kind of early on, just to kind of set the scene, right? Because remember, in the first draft of the first script for Scream 5 or Scream 2022, there's actually going to be a scene where Sam met the mom, where they ran into each other. I believe it was her leaving when she left Mindy and Chad's house after that whole kind of scene played out. She would leave, and then the mom would blame her for Tara being attacked, okay? And the mom would be drunk, though she wouldn't really be in her right mind, but she would blame Sam. And so that was going to be the first time we ever saw her. And even the directors, I believe, the crew have spoken out in terms of they didn't want to do that, or they didn't want to include the mom in person, right? They mentioned her a couple times, but they didn't want to include her in person just because it would kind of add too much. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want to steer too much off of the characters that they already had. And so, okay, well, yes, it could be J-Lo or it could be whatever, other people are kind of suggesting. I really don't really care about who it is as of right now, as long as they do a good job when they step into their shoes. But, no, in terms of an actual main character, well, I think a lot of people are comparing the mom, or if she could have a similar, well, she can't have the exact same, right? So like a Maureen Prescott, okay, to Sydney's mom. Now, I do think she could have something like influential or instrumental to the story in the same way that I guess Sydney's mom had, but obviously it'd be a little bit different because she would be in it. Now, I personally don't think or even care that much if the mom is a main character or not. I guess I should say this. I don't think she has to be. Maybe that's controversial. Maybe I haven't seen anybody else say it like that, so maybe it is controversial. But no, I don't think I need her to be a main character of the story. I just don't think that's really necessary. It does depend on what they do. Okay, so I'm not like shutting the door. I'm not saying like, oh, it's gonna be immediately a horrible idea. It depends on It depends on what the movie is about. What the next movie is about. Where are we? Okay, like where's the location, and what ultimately, why are the killers going to be after the characters again, right? Now, like a Sydney and Gail will probably be brought in some way again, so we're really assuming once more that the killers are after, Sam and Tara. So why? Well, does it connect to the mom? Does it connect to the dad? Not Billy, the adopted father of Sam, or Tara's real dad, right? So does it connect to him? Even if it only connects to just him, could that then bring in the mom? So, like, yes, there are plenty of ways that the mom could be included. You also have, because you could use almost like reverse psychology or reverse reasoning, where it's like, all right, well, you didn't want to have the mom in the movie that we just had, right? Because you had all these characters. I mean, you had 13 in all, but what, you had 10 new characters because of, or I guess 9, Judy, and then the original 3, right? So you had 9 characters. That's a lot. If you have less than, and the movie did that to itself, right? Because they picked those characters. So now you go into the next movie and you say, okay, well, what if there's only 7 characters? Like, does that now? Okay, well, 7 characters in terms of like the main cast: Sam, Tara, Mindy, Chad, and then maybe you have 3 to 5, maybe like 3 or 4, additional ones. And then can you add in like parents? Could you add in, Sam and Tara's mom, or even Sam and Tara's mom and dad? I do think you can. But again, in terms of like a main character, like super influential in terms of the story, I really think it's gonna be the dad. I guess I'll just say that, right? Because I think people probably think the mom or expect the mom to take the more central role, which probably means the killers would relate to her. I mean, you do have that possibility. She got, her and Billy had their relationship, so she would probably know Sydney or maybe know of her, right? So, I mean, there's plenty of things you can do with the mom, but in my opinion, I would go more so for the dad, and that's just my, I really don't have a strong reasoning why. I just think maybe he's a little bit more mysterious in terms of how he was kind of built up in the story of 5, right? So it'd be kind of cool to kind of see him come back. Obviously, him and Sam would not get along whatsoever because that conflict really drove Sam away in general. Maybe Tara wouldn't have the greatest relationship with him either now. So we'll see how it goes. But I think at the very least, both parents will be featured in the movie. So we're gonna have, two adult characters beside, well, adult. I mean, Melissa Barrera is 31, so we're gonna have two fictional parents of these supposed children in the movie, and I think you could do a lot of good stuff with that. You could go either way. You could pick one, and again, it does depend on where the killers stem from. What's the reasoning for why the killers are killer, or whatever. What's the reasoning they're doing what they're doing in Scream 6, and then I guess who are they, right? Where are they coming from? And then can you relate that to the mom or dad? That's how I think you're gonna get the mom or dad in, because ultimately, I really think just by having them in the movie, you're going to make them suspects, which is maybe wrong and maybe something we should not expect at all, right? Because, again, the mom was supposed to just be almost casually in this past movie. So if she was supposed to be in this movie, she blames Sam for Tara. I think she's just a messed up person. You know what I mean? She's just someone who doesn't have her life together. I don't really think she's a killer, but maybe the dad or maybe somebody related to the mom or something like that is maybe what they could do. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. Of course, we will be reacting and talking about who is eventually cast as the parents. Again, I do think they'll both be in it, so we'll do videos on that in the future. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below if you guys want to check it out, along with our Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.